Welcome to Yoga with Donna Cavanough. We're going to need a chair for this morning's practice. We're doing salutes, and if you're happy to put your hands on the floor and step back into your lunges, then maybe you don't need one. We're going to start with nothing on the mat and just feet underneath the hips in Tadasana. And feel each of your toes touching the floor without pressing, and feel the front of your leg lift and what that does for your back. And then lengthening belly and breastbone, top of the head reaching up, roll the upper arms back, and finding the flow, breath. Beautiful. And we're going to do the next range of movement very gently. So we're going to take the arms up, just really soft, and keep your elbows bent and your shoulders really spacious. And then you're going to bend your knees and you're going to bend forward and sweep the arms up behind you. And then we lift up again and we get this feeling that the joints are soft. So following your breath, inhaling, arms up, and exhaling, bending forward. Just take your own time. And you can try adding in standing up onto your tiptoes when your arms lift up. Tuning in to if you feel balanced this morning, or if it's a little difficult, that extra movement of up on the tiptoes. Maybe you're falling a little bit to one side or twisting, maybe one leg feels tighter. Just tuning in. Maybe it just all feels delightful. And a little bit faster now. Feeling elastic. Good. And then coming back to the center. Nice. Tadasana. A little bit of energy flowing now. Feeling that deeper breath. Great. And this is where we're going to use the chair. So put all four legs on your mat so that the chair can't slide away from you. We're going to stand facing the seat of the chair, and you want enough room to be able to put your hands or even your head on the seat of the chair. So it's like salutes to the sun, but it's a little more accessible, and you can really work on keeping everything parallel. We're going to start in our Tadasana with parallel legs. And then soft shoulders, take your arms up. And then Uttanasana. And you're going to look up, so lift up onto your straight arms and make a back bend. Feel your back bend. Nice. And then we're going to take Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Try to keep the feeling of the back bend. So you might bend your elbows a little bit. Maybe you can be on your elbows or even rest your forehead on your hands or chair. Taking some deep breaths. Starting to feel the stretch in the back of the legs, and lift your kneecaps. Good. Lift up and hold on to the chair, and we're going to step the left foot back. So we're in a lunge, and depending where your right foot is, you might need to step it forward, so you've got a deeper or a bigger distance. And we're going to bend the front knee, and the back leg's going to be really straight. Good. And then we're going to straighten the front leg and lift the front toes off the floor and then bend the front leg. So, sorry, I said salute to the sun. This first one, we're just going to start stretching everything, warming up. Good. Straighten your front leg, toes off the floor, right toes off the floor. Bend the front leg, lift the chest. Good. Let's do one more of those. Good. And then let's step the right foot back. And we're in a modified downward facing dog pose, or almost a right angle stretch. You want to take as much stretch as your body needs. So see how your shoulders are feeling. You might be able to get them nice and straight. I'm going to look a little bit bent in the shoulders today. Lift the kneecaps, lift the lift the sitting bones. Great. And then we're going to step the left foot forward. And so now we're in that nice lunge position on the other side. Good. And then straighten your front leg, lift the left toes off the floor. Good. Bend your front leg. Straighten. Press the back heel, lift the chest. Bending, lifting the chest. Good. One more. Straighten. Whoa. And then bending. Nice work. Really press the back heel. And then we're going to step forward and be in Uttanasana again, standing forward bend. Lifting kneecaps. Good. And then we're going to lift up onto straight arms and find your back bend shape. Look forward. Great. Bend your legs and rolling up from there. Soft shoulders as you take your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana, Tadasana. All right. So we're going to do the same thing a few times on both sides. We're going to do that leg stretch and straighten each time. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Up onto straight arms, little bit of a back bend. Good. Uttanasana. Right leg steps back. And we're in the lunge position. So make it the distance that feels good. Try to get the hips a little closer to the floor. Okay, so we're straightening the left leg and bending the left leg. Try to keep the back leg really straight, pressing the heel down. Good. Try to keep the bones of the spine forward. 3 times we do that on each side. Good. Stepping back into your modified downward facing dog pose. Good. Strong legs, lift them, lengthen your torso, lengthen the armpits. Good work. Right leg steps forward. And then bending and straightening the front leg 3 times. Keep the hips coming as far forward as you can, lifting the breastbone. Beautiful. And stepping forward, left foot, Uttanasana. Up onto straight arms, find your back bend. Good. Uttanasana again. Bend your knees and roll yourself up. Soft shoulders, Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Up onto straight arms, looking forward. And Uttanasana. Head towards the seat of the chair. Left leg back, nice big lunge here. Straightening and bending your right leg. Pressing the back heel. And then stepping the right foot back. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Stepping back to downward facing dog pose. Left foot forward. And bending and straightening the left leg. Pressing the back heel. And stepping forward, right foot forward, Uttanasana. Bending your knees and inhale, Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Okay, so we've warmed up with the chair. We're going to start adding a few things into our standing pose sequence. And if you don't need the chair, that's fine. You can put it to the side. I'm going to hang on to mine. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Lift up onto straight arms. Find your back bend. We're going to step straight back into downward facing dog pose. Good. Come into a plank position. So the shoulders are over your wrists and your nice long line in your body. Press the heels back, lifting the front core of the body. Good. And then we'll step forward with the left foot. So we're in a long lunge. Straighten your back leg, lift the chest. Good. Stepping the right foot forward, Uttanasana. Up onto straight arms. Good. And then we're going to roll up from here. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Back bend, straight arms, right foot back, left foot back, downward facing dog pose. Plank position. Pressing the heels, lifting the front core of the body. Good. Step the right foot forward, lunge. Step the left foot forward, Uttanasana. Straight arm, little back bend. Good. Bend the knees, Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Straight arms. Left foot back. Right foot back. Downward facing dog pose. Now a little bit different. Right foot steps forward to under the chair. We're going to turn the left heel down onto the floor. So we're going to take Trikonasana. But you can keep your right hand on the seat of your chair. My chair keeps slipping. Lined up with your foot. So the hand is over the foot or the leg. Good. And left hand onto your hip. Left hip. And we're going to roll the left hip back. We're going to keep rolling the left hip back and left ribs back until it feels like your heart is shining upward. Good. And if your shoulder's good, you can take your left arm straight up to the ceiling. Great. Let's windmill that arm forward to the seat of the chair and step your right foot back into downward facing dog pose. Nice work. We're going to step the left foot forward to underneath the chair, turn the right heel down to the floor. So this is for Trikonasana, straight legs. Put your left hand so it's in a line with your left leg. Right hand on your right hip. Roll the right hip back, the right ribs back, and looking up at the ceiling. Strong leg. Finding your breath. Good. You can take your right arm straight up, shining the heart upward. Even reach the right arm back a little. The ribs are reaching back. Beautiful. Windmill that arm down to the seat of the chair. And let's step forward, Uttanasana. Straight arms, looking forward. Good. Bend your knees and inhale. And coming up. Good. And Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. And Uttanasana. Straight arms and a back bend. Good. Step the left foot back a bigger distance this time. Maybe you need to wiggle your right foot further under the seat of the chair. So we want this one for Virabhadrasana too. Now you're going to take your hands off the chair. We're going to bring the hands onto the hip. And try to drop the hips as close as you can to parallel with the floor, parallel to that long edge of your mat, and watch the right knee that's up against the chair there, but it's going to fall towards the big toe side of the foot. And we want to try and roll it to the little toe side of the foot as you bring the hips a little closer to the floor. Good. Take the arms out from your shoulders, turn your whole torso and look left, and then just your head and look right. Warrior two. Good. And then we're going to windmill the arms back to the seat of the chair. Turn your left foot to face forward. Take your right foot back. Downward facing dog pose. Good. And then left foot forward. And we're going to be in warrior two on the second side. So turn the right heel down. Have a big distance. Aiming for bigger distance between the feet than your leg is long. Bend the left knee. Watch how the left knee wants to roll in. See if you can roll it out. Roll the right hip back. We lift the torso so that it's perpendicular to the floor rather than leaning towards the chair. So rolling the right hip back, rolling the right ribs back, arms from the shoulders. Turn the whole torso to look right, and then just your head to look left. Bringing the hips as close to the floor as you can, lifting the pelvic floor. Windmill the arms back to the seat of the chair and stepping forward. Good. Uttanasana. Straight arms and a back bend. Good. And then rolling up. Urdhva Hastasana. Good. And Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Straight arms. Back bend shape. Walk your both feet back until they're under your hips. So your shoulders are over your hands or your wrist, and your sit bones are over your heels. Good. And wiggle your feet together until the inside edges are touching. We're going to lift the left leg behind. And as you lift, you're going to keep your hips really stable, level to the floor. So with the chair, you can see this is a nice way to practice Virabhadrasana 3, especially if you're vulnerable in your knee, because you've got a little bit more weight in the hands. But try to be as light in your hands as you can. Imagine you could even shift your weight a little and not have the hands touching the seat of the chair. Maybe you can even lift them up. We test that. The stabilizers in the right hip. Whoa. Good. And then we're going to release that leg down. Okay, so we've got the inside edges of the feet together, feet under the hips. And now we lift the right. You lift as high as you can. You keep your hips really level to the floor. Great. So you'll notice you've got a lot of weight in your hands. What have you got to do to shift your weight a little? Maybe take the hips back or find where you're better center of balance over just your left foot, and see if you can be lighter in the hands. Maybe one at a time off the seat of the chair, so that you're testing the strength of that stabilizer set of muscles in the outside of your left hip. Good work. And bring the feet back. And we're going to take Uttanasana with the feet together. So bringing the top of the head closer to the back of the chair or the seat of the chair. Straightening your legs. And try to make your back bend shape. Good. We're going to put the hands on the seat of the chair and a little jump in, land lightly. And then rolling up. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Good. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Step the feet back. This time we're going to go back until your arms are straight with the sides of the torso and your heels are under your hips. Wiggle the feet in together again, inside edge of the feet. Try lifting your leg again, your right leg. Now you might need to bend your left knee a little bit to do that. So we're going to lift up. You've got that nice long stretch out to the chair in front. Keep the hips level, lifting the pelvic floor, the front core of the body, and pressing out through the right sole of the foot. Good. And then we're going to release that side. Take the hips back. Okay, so bend your knees a little bit, feel it in your body. We're going to go nice and slow, taking the left leg up. And we're keeping the hips level. Stretching the sides of the body, the armpits, the side waist. Holding the hips level. The left hip wants to lift up. Hold it level. Good, and then release that leg. And little hops into the front of the chair. Tadasana. Great. And then we're going to take a head support, either the back of the chair, you can turn the chair around and put a blanket over the back of the chair, or the seat of the chair in Uttanasana. So finding your distance. And somewhere that you can rest the forehead. So if you don't reach the seat of the chair, use the back of the chair. And feet are hip width. Parallel. Lifting kneecaps, quadriceps, sit bones, and lengthening the spine and lengthening the back of the neck towards the chair. Good. And then we'll bend the knees and we'll roll up. And we'll take the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Now we're going to do one long lunge, and we're going to do that from the floor. Unless you're vulnerable in your knees and you can't put your knees on the floor to kneel, then you could stay here with the chair. And what I want you to do is just find a really long lunge. So either with the chair or from kneeling. You don't need the chair. You can have your hands on the floor because we want to bring the hips forward. So I've got the right leg forward and the left leg back, but it doesn't matter. I'll just call it front leg and back leg. All right, so we're bringing the hips forward. Good, and then we'll release that side and changing sides. So bringing the hips forward. Spine. Nice. And we're going to come into a kneeling position, and that's going to be on the floor. I'll just show you with a chair a way to give your feet a stretch if kneeling's way out of the question. You have a knee injury. You can give yourself a stretch at the front of the foot easier to do one foot at a time, just stretching the toes at the front. So if you find kneeling on the floor too difficult, try the chair stretch for your feet. Stay nice and tall in your torso. Sit at the front edge of the chair rather than back into the chair. Otherwise, kneeling down. My favorite. And we'll try and have enough support under your sit bones so that your knees are good. And that changes from day to day, each practice. Sometimes the weather causes joints to swell or the opposite. All the rings fall off. So just seeing how your knees feel and have enough height under your sit bones so your knees are comfortable. My feet are parallel. Try that out rather than the big toes touching. The more even stretch either side of the ankle. Good. We're going to take the arms out from the shoulders, palms up, and little circles. Ooh. We're going to try and reach into the back of that movement, neck relaxed. And as the muscle starts to fatigue, that's a good sign. Lots of potential. And then the other direction, palms down. Oh, the other direction. A bit tricky for me. Okay, then finishing off and relax your hands. Good. Now from your kneeling position, try out tucking your toes under. So you can put your hands on the floor in front of you. I'll turn sideways so you can see. So tucking your toes under, and sometimes the little toes don't reach the floor, so you can manually tuck them under. And if you're comfortable sitting up without your hands on the floor, so you're taking your weight on your heels, then do that. Otherwise, keep your hands on the floor. It feels too strong. We try and sit up tall. Relax your shoulders. Good. Good. And then release your feet. And we're going to step the right foot forward. If you're uncomfortable kneeling on your left knee, either you can put a blanket under there, or you could do this standing. So you could stand up on your right foot and you're going to lift your left leg behind you. You've got your chair there for balance. But we're going to try and lift up the left leg and reach back behind you. Take hold of your left foot and squeeze that in. We'll turn to look to the left side. Good. So if that's too strong, kneeling down, do the same thing, standing. Okay, and then second side. So that will be left foot in front, right foot behind. I think it depends on knee anatomy as to how comfortable that is. If it's too uncomfortable, do the standing version. Or do both. Standing tall. Beautiful. All right, we're going to face I'll come up to standing. Face the long side of your mat. Step your feet out a little bit wider than your legs. Toes in for our forward bend. And we were working on that back bend shape in our sequence. Keep the back bend shape forward, moving forward. And you're bending at the hip crease. And your hands on the floor under your shoulders. Now, if your hands don't reach the floor, you've got the legs there. Lift the kneecaps, lift the sit bones. Walk your hands out in front. Relax your neck, face, your throat. Finding the flow of your breath. As you start to lengthen, to find all that potential space and length in your body. Great. And you're going to think about how to sit down from here. If you'd like to follow what I'm doing, I'm going to jump my feet into a little squat and sit. With only a little bit of rolling back. So sitting onto a blanket. We're going to do that same thing, legs wide and a forward bend, but you'll see that it's different or feels different in this plane. Be on your sit bones, on the front of your support, and legs are out wide, and find your forward bend range of movement, and it might be upright, and use your hands behind you to help you bring the bones of the spine forward. So that's the most important part of this movement, particularly in this seated position. The bones of the spine forward. So wherever you are in that range of movement, your belly and chest feel spacious. You're finding the flow of your breath. And then we're going to improve the movement a little. So I want you to keep your forward range of movement and then walk your hands over towards your left leg. So you're facing your left leg now. And reach yourself, especially your right hand, as far as you can towards the foot. Finding your breath. Notice when it wants to stop. You want to hold your breath. You're doing something difficult. Calm. Tuning into the breath. Good. Keep your forward range of that movement and come back to your center. Find the bones of your spine forward. You might be a little closer to the floor. Good. And then we're going to go to the right side. Really reach with the left hand this time. See if you can reach towards your foot. Keep bringing the bones of the spine forward. Good. Keep your forward range of movement and coming back to center. Ooh. Maybe you found just a tiny bit more movement or some other kind of discovery. Try to bring the bones of the spine forward. Finding. Good. And then we're going to release. Nicely done. Let's lay down. A little bamboo pose. I woke up this morning. It was cool after, I think we've had 10 hot days in a row. And got really excited about moving again. But legs up in the hot weather is really a good idea. Unless you have high blood pressure, you have to get that checked out. You can just put your feet up on a low height if that was the case, even just a couple of inches off the floor. Bamboo pose. And if there's any sense of this pulling your back or your belly, just do it with your feet on the floor. And that's another good alternative if you have high blood pressure. Face relax. Shoulders, throat relax. Finding the flow of your breath. All that energetic flow in your body. Your potential. Bend your legs and take your blanket out from underneath your hips. For a little twist to the side, arms out by the shoulders from the shoulders or where they're comfortable. And let's do inside edges of the feet together, knees together. Lift your hips and take them to the left, and then your knees are going to go to the right. And if you turn your head to look over your left shoulder, that completes the twist along the spine. Just noticing the gifts of this posture in your body, where you can accept them more readily by letting go of tension. And then using your core body, we're going to lift the legs and lift your hips and swing them to the right, and knees are going to go to the left. Using the core body, bring the legs back up to center. Hug your knees into your chest. And rocking a little from side to side. Take happy baby pose. Relax your back and your belly and give your hips a nice big stretch by taking the feet out and back. And feel the flow of breath readily in the chest and the belly. Good, and then releasing. And when you're ready, rolling over to your right side and coming up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of your heart. and take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.